Well, hello YouTube. We're back for another really fun time. Fun for me, anyway. Today, I am reacting to, and I don't like to use the word analyzing. It sounds so academic. But what I want to do is I'm going to try and give you an idea of what this amazing woman is doing to help her do what she's doing vocally. And this is a video by Sohyang. I think I'm doing that right. Sohyang. I'm doing my best to pronounce it properly. But it's You Raise Me Up, the Josh Groban song. And wow, does she do a rendition of this. I've got to admit, the reason I have seen this before is because I watched 3 or 4 of her numbers, 3 or 4 of her performances. All so unbelievable, I could not decide which one to do. I almost did Oh Holy Night because she hits a note in there that's she hits an A5 in her mix that just like killer. It's awesome. It's just killer. I love it. But anyway, I decided on this one because there's just so much to this performance. So let's get into it. This is going to be really, really fun for me and hopefully fun for you and hopefully educational as well. Hey there, I'm Mike Goodrich and with The Inner Singer, the creator of the Inner Singer program, the Inner Singer podcast, and everything else Inner Singer, I guess would be me. Anyway, so thank you so much, all you wonderful folks who have subscribed and left me unbelievable comments. I actually learned about Sohyang from a subscriber, which I really appreciate. You guys are educating me so much on certain things, and you guys are so smart about voice, too. I mean, I'm so kind of blown away by all this. It's really, really cool. So anyway, let's have some fun. Let's get to it. Here we go. You Raise Me Up. First thing I want to say, just initially, is that the beginning is so soft and so pretty, and so heartfelt and so reverent, and it really, really sets the mood. So many young singers these days do a lot of riffing and running, which is great. It's really awesome. But you know, years ago, the riffs, the runs, they really, really meant something. They meant something emotionally. It's when there was not a lyric that would satisfy the emotion. And so they had to get that emotion and that energy out of, the singer had to get the emotion, the energy out of her so much. And the only thing they could do is a riff or a run and or an ornamentation. And that was an emotion coming out. That's what she's doing here. That's not a wasted bunch of notes just to show she can do it. That's a very thoughtful, emotional, heartfelt setting of the tone emotionally for the song in a very reverent way. Such a beautiful head voice. So she's singing just so easily now. Her vibrato just spins. It's just a gorgeous vibrato. You know, years ago, I said this in one of my other videos, they did a study of vibrato many years ago. And the vibratos from all the great singers that they, let's say, played with were between 6 and 7 oscillations, actually 6 and 7.2, I think. 7 oscillations, 6, 7 per second. Which is, if you have a second, 1001, 1002, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, you would have 6 in there. Very, very quick. Not like that, but also not slow like 4 or 5. So really the sign of just a glorious technique and a real healthy voice, that spinny vibrato. So beautiful. Here we go.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas.
She's already at a C sharp 5 on raise in a gorgeous mix and the most perfect pronunciation of an A vowel. An A vowel in a mix is almost in an E position. So it's raise. It's not you ray. It's not that it's you ray, raise. Man, just absolutely perfect.
I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can. With wonder, when you call my
So she does that fifth, that A flat 4 to that E flat 5 in head voice and then mixes it. And that was such a gorgeous turn anyway, that change. So whoever arranged this is just such a gorgeous arrangement as well to transition into this part of the song. And that was a really cool thing she just did there. Going up into her head voice on, and then back into a mix. Awesome.
I've been living there.
Now she's really into it.
You are gonna raise me up, raise me up, raise me up.
Wow. So she's already at an F sharp 5 in kind of a light, playful mix that's just teasing us a little. I'm sorry I disturbed that part of the song. Let's go back and get this, and I won't talk.
You are gonna raise me up, raise me up, raise me up. So I can stand on mountains, for the agony.
So she's already in an E5 in her mix. Now, that's the second bridge for a woman. The bridge, as we talk about, classical music, they call it passaggio. It's a transition. It's a transition from, let's say, your one area of resonation in your voice to another area of resonation. Registers, let's say chest voice into your mix. So that the bridge, and we have many, many bridges in our voice. About every augmented fourth, probably, something like that. So for you women, your first one's going to be somewhere between G4 and B flat 4 most of the time. Depending on the vowel, depending on how loud you're singing, and a lot of factors, but kind of a general statement, sort of a sweeping generalization. And your second bridge is going to be right going into that E5 there, that E natural 5. And she's already there. So that's considered, just so you know, I'm sure you know already, but in case you don't, that's considered already pretty high for a woman in that second bridge. There are a lot of women that can't sing that, can't get that note, because they're not sure how to negotiate the bridges. And if they're pulling their chest voice up, they're not going to be able to make it. So they have to first negotiate that first bridge, that, let's say, A flat, A, B flat area, in which is 4, A flat 4, A4, B flat 4. And then they've got to thread the needle through that and then be able to do the same again at that E flat and E natural. And as you're going to hear, she kind of just keeps doing it. And forget about even talking about her legit, where she can sing, pretty much off the charts in her head voice. But anyway, so she's kind of going back and forth between a little belty, a little mixy right here, but she's starting to really get into it. But you see how easy it sounds, how flowing it is? That's because her vowels are very, very good, and she knows how to negotiate these bridges. And I don't know if that's by nature, if she was born that way, or if she studied, but whatever it is, boy, she's got it. Here we go.
There's no life
Okay, I want to point that out. I want you to hear, boy, this is going to be kind of long, I'm afraid, because I really want to point out what she's doing. The pronunciation right there, went on that C sharp. Listen to how she is really in the pocket on, I'm not sure what the word was, started with an H. Let's hear what it is. Maybe hunger? Let's see. I got to get that word. Oh, okay, that's great. So, I'm trying to stop this thing. And it's not. Technology, you gotta love it. She actually goes up on the O. That was colossal wasted time with me trying to stop this thing. Sorry about that. I get excited when I'm watching this. I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. She went up on the so. Let's go back and get that since I completely messed that up. Let's pretend I didn't do that. Let's try that again. Hey. So, you can hear that. Beat so imperfectly. So she doesn't go beat so, beat so, beat so. And you can really hear that happen in her voice. And you know what? That's funny. What's funny about that, or what's cool about that, is that's the way a tenor sings. So women who are belting properly and tenors who are singing and belting properly, in that same part of the voice does the same thing. She's just through the first bridge for the soprano, and that would be on the same note through the second bridge for the tenor. But the important thing is the vowel, beat so, ah. No, she's not doing that. Beat so. Hear that shift in resonance that happens? It's glorious. Here we go. And boy, that C sharp is such a great note in her voice. Wonders, not wonder, see wonder. You hear that shift in resonance. It's fabulous. I love it. Here we go. Okay. She's already on an F. And, okay, I'm going to keep it going before I say anything, but that's just fabulous. Okay, we got a little musical break, so I will say it. Now, what I want you to hear, especially you women, but for you men as well, because it really, quite frankly, works the same way in a man or a woman's voice in that part of the voice. It's really, really cool. Those of you who have listened to Dimash in that part of the voice, it's a really, really similar sound, isn't it? It's a very similar coordination. So what happens is, and we've talked before about this, the muscles that work the vocal cords, you've got, we'll call them the CT. Those are the ones that stretch the cords for the high notes, long and thin, you know. And then the TA are the ones that make them kind of fat and thick for chest voice. It's a balance of those two working together against each other that create the balance resistance that creates this great singing in balance with the resonator, right? Okay. So now, if you think of a Christmas tree or a tree, I don't want to make it Christmas because I don't want to, some people don't celebrate Christmas. So, but a tree that looks like that, it's kind of fat at the bottom, right? But goes up like this. That's kind of what the voice does. And if you think of it that way, you can actually hear it. When she's down in her chest voice, or just kind of in her first bridge, there's a lot of room for resonation. It's a broader sound. But as she starts going up to these E flats, E's, F's, like you just heard, and we'll go back and listen for a second, the voice starts going up like this, thinning out. It maintains chord closure, and it maintains that bite and that strength of the chest voice, but the chords are thinning out. You're dropping excess vocal cord baggage that you don't need, going into another resonator, and you don't have as much vocal cord mass, but you have that same essence of sound happening, but it's not as heavy. And you can actually hear it go from fatter to a thinner sound, and very, very, very vertical, which is cool. Let's listen to that again when she goes up to that F. Really, really cool. Here we go.
Restless heart beats so hard perfectly.
Oh, I love that. Really pretty head voice. I love that wonder. Hear that? Hear it? How it goes up. Now she's really in a belt. Beautiful belt. Mixed. Okay, she just did the same thing. She loves that C sharp. When she does shoulder, not shoulder, which would get her in trouble because that way she'd be down here going like this instead of down here going like this, okay? Oh, E flat. Oh, those were Fs. And that's that C sharp again with the highest note, and that was an F. And you hear it. You can hear it go like this. When she goes up higher, you'll hear it even more. But all this is just absolutely, this is like voice lesson singing. All you ladies, just watch what she's doing and do this. It's going to be great. I gotta say something about that E vowel. It's got a little I in it. B, it's not B. Wasn't that high for her, but she still balances it with a little is, with a little I sound, which really warms. It's great. Same thing there. Okay, same thing there. Same thing there on that E vowel. That was awesome. On that E flat, see her jaw is dropped. It's got a balance of I in there, and it just spins. And that's what gives her the ability to continue to go up. She's got the right vocal cord adjustment, in balance with the proper amount of air, in balance with the right resonator. I mean, it's, you got those three going, you're golden. Here goes. Beautiful belt. Man, she's just living up there. It's an E natural. And that's a glorious belt in a mix, as a belt should always be in a mix. Otherwise, it's going to be raw gut, chest pulled. It's going to be yelling. It's not going to sound anything like that. That is absolutely beautiful. Here we go. A flat and head voice. Modulation. Now that was a D. Now she modulated. Beautiful. Okay, hear that? Hear that thin out? Raise me up. And bang, just like that. Not like that, but like that. You hear it. Okay. Okay, so that's an F sharp. You're not ever going to hear a better F sharp than that. It's perfect vibrato, just sitting in there, just sitting in there with the right chord adjustment, right balance of air, right resonator. I know that sounds technical, and who cares about any of that stuff when you hear that, right? But that's her voice. That is a result of all those things kind of just magically coming together. And then comes back up to that D. You got to hear that again. I got to hear that again. Here we go. Oh, man. Back to that D. Absolutely perfect. Perfect balance of everything. Again, F sharp. G. Okay, up to the A in a mix. Really, you can hear it really thin out. So she goes. So she climbs F sharp, G, A. Glorious. And you hear how her top influences the bottom as she comes down. Nothing ever thumps out. Nothing ever splats out. Nothing goes from vertical to horizontal all of a sudden. Her voice is vertical all the way. Absolute perfect vocal line. Let's watch that again. Gorgeous. F sharp. G, 4, 5. A. Lightens that mix on that A. Now the F sharp doesn't even sound high. She's at an F sharp 5 like it's absolutely nothing. It doesn't even sound high anymore after the climb. And I love the way she lightened that A. It was still a mix, but she lightened it up just a little bit. Man. Oh boy. That's seriously awesome stuff. I can't wait to watch more of her stuff. She's just an absolutely glorious performer, glorious voice. It's like a voice lesson in a box, right? Watching what this woman is able to do with these bridges, with the balance with which she sings, with the emotion, the interpretation, everything. So anyway, I know it's probably kind of long. I'm afraid to look and see how long this video actually was, but I really wanted to give you a kind of a voice lesson about what she's doing. I can't emphasize enough, it's about the vowels, it's about mastering your bridges, and it's about singing vertically, okay? You've got to, and the vowels help you do that. The proper vowel alignment helps get the registers in line. So you want to have a vocal line, which includes the registers being in line and the vowels being in line. Okay, and then in balance with the air and the adjustments of the vocal cords. A lot going on in there, but you know, a lot of it can be done much more easily than we think once you begin mastering these. And there are so many of you out there watching this that that would have the facility to do many of these things, if not all of these things from a vocal standpoint. Now, you know, we all have our own unique voices, but so much is learnable. So that's kind of why I want to delve into this stuff so much. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a free video series, my free Singing Accelerator video series, you can check the link below. And there is a link in the description for my free Singing Accelerator video series. And I've got a really cool ebook that I wrote called The 5 Biggest Mistakes Singers Make While Singing in Their Mix and Belting, and how you can avoid them, and we do want to avoid them. And the link's below in the description as well, so you can pick that up. I've loved doing this. This is awesome. This woman has just got a glorious voice, a glorious technique, everything. It's awesome. So if you like this, please subscribe, and can hit the bell for notifications wherever the bell may be. I'm not sure where it is. But I'd love it if you would like the video. That'd be awesome. And your comments have been fabulous, so please keep the comments coming. I love the comments. They're so helpful, and I try to answer them. It's honestly impossible to answer all of them because there have been so many. I didn't really expect that. It's so cool. So there you go. And on this page somewhere, there are other videos to watch that are recommended. Please have a look at those. And this has been great fun for me. And again, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, comment and like if you would, and share it. If you found it valuable, please share. And I have new videos every Wednesday, except I've also been like tossing in a couple more during the week. So anyway, I'm talking too much. It's going to be too long. Anyway, thank you so much. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.